Libra, welcome to your September 2022 general tarot reading. It's Raina here. Whenever I do tarot readings for the month, I tend to do the 2 birthday people of each month first. So I did Virgos, and now I am doing you. There's your card. Ooh, that's your card too, as far as I'm concerned. It's definitely your energy. Wow. Great card so far. Wow. The sun, and you're having the solar return, having the sun go into Libra, so that's certainly it. Wow. So out of 6 cards, 3 of them were Major Arcana cards, which isn't surprising given this is the month when the sun goes into your sign, Libra. And so there's that synchronicity. So I'm going to take 2 of these cards here and talk about what they mean. So in the past position, we have the Ace of Swords. And the past position card is meant to talk about something that has recently been in your reality, or something that has occurred that is informing the card that I'm also holding, which is the Empress card. I'll put that aside. I just want to talk about the Ace of Swords. So you see that light emanating from, I guess it would be the pineal gland, or maybe, you know, whatever. It's like the crown chakra. And it's supposed to be wisdom, in other words, but it's that insight, that higher knowledge. And, you know, this deck is unusual in this depiction. I like it, but typically what they'll have is a sword coming out of this water. And I think about the person who has cut through the illusion of something in their life. That's what the Ace of Swords really means to me. And I see that person as being able to move forward, start something new in their life, because they're no longer laboring under an illusion about something that's going on. And so that could also suggest that there's a major life change that you're making, a decision that you have to make, which is not, you know, something that Libras like to make necessarily, because you really can see things from different angles. But yeah, clarity is in your mind, and that allows you to move forward and maybe a little bit more confidently in your life. And so when I look at the central theme, we have the Empress. Now, they show a baby, but it also kind of looks like the world. And I mean, it can't. This is the Earth Mother card. It's connected to Venus, so the 2 cards are Taurus and Libra, the 2 signs ruled by Venus that this card can represent. This is a card of love, so that's not surprising. But it's also a card of creativity, another facet of Venus. And we have the Sun card, which is also creativity. But children, okay, being a mother means children. The Sun card is related to children. So if you, let's put it this way. There might be some Libra people that are on the fence about having kids, and then something happens and they say, okay, I'm going to do it. Now, those kinds of decisions, if somebody has been going back and forth, it's a good idea that they are being very deliberate before they decide to make such an important decision as having a child. So I definitely commend anybody who actually takes the time to think about those kinds of things. And even if you're a man and you're deciding, do I want to be a father? that's a really great question. Not just like, oops, I did that, even though that may be, I think that that is what the universe intended as well, but it's nice to be intentional when you're doing something that important. And it's not surprising then that the higher message card is the Ten of Cups. This is a card of family harmony. This is happily ever after. Now, because it's connected to family, this could be about starting a family or even having another child. If you're someone who has a gap between your children, or you thought you only wanted one child, or maybe, let's say you're a woman who had a child before and you just said, I'm never having another child, and you've decided that you will have a child with your new partner. Also, if you've, even not having a child could be the decision you make. It doesn't have to be having a child. The reason that I was looking more in that direction is because the Ten of Cups and the Sun card can be cards that are associated with children and family, especially the Sun card. But the Ten of Cups can be the impact on the family, but there's a positive impact. And if you have left a relationship, and I feel like, there's going to be a full moon in your opposite sign, Aries, in October, so it's possible that that might be a divorce being finalized or something like that. But if you are in that situation, then obviously it's going to be entirely different, but the upshot is that it can be this relief for the family. So, I could see the Empress as the mama bear who's like, I'm not going to allow anybody to make my children unhappy. And I'm going to leave that relationship, and by doing so, it has a ripple effect on your children. And actually, what crosses you is the Justice card, which can be like a legal matter. Now, the fact that it crosses you can mean that there might be some complication, depending on when everything is happening. We are having a Mercury retrograde in September, and that could postpone something or screw something up. But the thing is that if you, and even you, this is your card, Libra, the Justice card. So it might even be your balance is a little bit off kilter. And one of the things that I have found out is that if you've ever heard about or seen videos on calming your nervous system, I used to always have this expression that I would say that shattered my nerves, meaning that I had some stressful event and I could actually feel in my body, this tension or whatever you want to call it. And then I started hearing about these, resetting your nervous system, learning how to calm your nervous system. And I haven't actually done, there might have been one thing that I did, but I haven't just dove into it. I don't know, really explored that. But I really resonate with it. And I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. And I feel like this might be the answer to when we feel like we want to be calm, but we have a hard time just being it just because we want it. And there are some actual exercises you can do, and probably, lifestyle tweaks to nourish your nervous system. Because with the Justice card being connected to Libra, and Libra being the symbol of the scales, it's very easy for Libra people to get imbalanced because of, this equilibrium that you represent. And so you have to, if there are other people who you feel are kind of threatening your equilibrium, you have to learn how to practice self-care so that you're not blown by every wind, because it's not about the outside world, it's about you being able to handle things. What's coming in is the Sun card. What a great depiction. Isn't that those colors, aren't those colors beautiful? And, you know, the central color here is yellow, obviously, but the orange is there too. And these are the chakras, the second and third chakras. And the reason that these are important is because it can really speak to your emotional, positive emotions, as well as your sense of empowerment. And really, if the Ace of Swords for you has meant that you have had to admit something about someone in your life, like you were in denial over it, maybe it was an ex-partner and you knew that they were cheating, but you kind of turned a blind eye to it or something like that until you finally couldn't do so anymore, realize that you're going to start to feel more and more, not only empowered, but you're going to start feeling that natural joy again. Because what tends to happen is when you're in those difficult, draining relationships, that other person can really drag you down and make you feel, and I don't mean that they have power over you, but that influence can feel like you're being devalued, that the other person doesn't have respect for you, and it can feel really bad, you know, to be in that position. So it's always great when you're able to let that go, you know, transcend it. The Sun card is about everything positive in life: love, healing, prosperity, success, creativity, children, fun. You know, maybe this is, I mean, it's about joy, you know, and maybe you've been in a place where you've kind of turned the corner. The Ace of Swords, aces are beginnings, and we, you know, swords are all the air signs. There is a new moon in an air sign, your sign, on September 25th. So that might be especially when you start to have like the sun, you know, the sun in Libra coming into that first house and starting a whole new cycle again. And that's a cycle that you can program, that you can have some say so over the events of your life. You know, we can't control everything, but that doesn't mean we don't control anything. You know, some people are very, what's the word, like extreme. So they think it's either or, and it's not. Of course it's not. And then the outcome is the Hierophant. And this is a card of connecting. Well, it's a card of God, and it looks like they have the stairway to heaven. But you see at the end here, or the top there, it's like almost like this, like static electricity. Wait a minute, is that? Oh, I think it's the flower of life. I think it's kind of like a mandala. But there's that light, and it just seems like energetic, you know. And it's interesting because as we ascend, it's almost like the card of ascension. As we ascend, as we raise our vibration, the old drops away, and that includes people. That includes situations that no longer serve us. I mean, the Empress card could be about plunging into creative pursuits, a passion project maybe that has been calling for you, calling itself to you, and you have to, you know, accept that call. Because the truth is that we are here for only a certain amount of time. And it's easy to get immersed in the mundane world and the mundane consciousness and just like, you know, try to do everything on the 3D level. But you know something? So it's like, you know, there's going to be one day that is the last day on earth for everybody. And I don't think people really, you know, embrace that understanding. And they're so caught up in like paying the bills, doing the laundry, doing all these like things that we do need to do, but they can consume us if we let it. So if you have artistic talents, don't wait for the perfect time. Share them with others. They're a gift that you were born with, but they're here for you to share and inspire other people. So that might be your baby. Maybe it's not like like you're birthing a child, but you're birthing a creative project. And the Hierophant is like, that's divinely inspired. That's there's a connection between the spiritual and the creative. Okay, that's what I have for you, Libra. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.